Hello.
Oh, that sounded
kind of
good.
For once.
Oh.
I'm kidding. But hello, everyone. Episode number 3.
Oh my god. It's going by really quick.
I know.
I'm like barely 3 episodes in.
Real quick. I'm Sergio.
Oh, yes. He's Sergio.
The intro. And she Jadin.
And I'm Jadin. And this is SOULvivors
Podcast.
Ooh. Hello everyone. And as y'all can see, we're in a new motherfucking setting right now. We're in my bedroom. Live from my bedroom. And it feels like sleepover vibes right now.
Sleepover vibes.
And high-key, I'm sick, so I'm like, I made Sergio just come into bed and film this with me.
I said, fuck it.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, the vibes is here, because, like, it's raining here in San Diego, so, I mean, if it starts raining, you hear a little, like, that's because it's raining, but it's not right now. And, yeah.
Yes.
It's Monday sleepover vibes right
Monday vibes.
Monday vibes. All right,
Yes.
Jadin, should we start? Like, what is the topic for today?
Today's topic is sponsored to you by
No one. Oh.
Sergio.
I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Because why? We talking about
Oh, me?
yes. What are we talking about?
Okay. We talking about the experience of being in the LGBTQIA plus. Goddamn, that's a lot. But obviously, I'm not every of those things. Jadin is not every of those things. We can only say our personal and respective POVs. So, I'm just gonna say it from a gay's perspective, and Jadin's gonna say it from a perspective of no labels.
Period.
Purred.
And I know that
That's gonna be like a fucking.
you're probably like, what? But we'll get into it.
We'll get into it.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about it.
We'll get a little into it. So,
Alright,
I think we're gonna start off with Sergio over here.
Right here.
And let's get into it.
Give me them questions, bitch.
How old were you when you had feelings or were thinking, oh, I think I like the men or the boys?
Girl, like, it's probably a little sinful of me.
Oh.
It's probably like, it's really interesting because from my memory, I remember like 6-7 years old.
Really?
Like that young dude. Like,
okay.
to the point where, like, not where I was kissing every fucking boy, like, on the block. No. More like, oh, I think he cute. Like, oh, he a cutie. Like, ooh, like, you know, those little innocent, flirty type, like, kids things. Like, oh my god, you know, Valentine's and all that. Like,
okay, so you were like, just the initial attraction.
Just the initial attraction. And, yeah, and as time went by, it just started to validate itself, like, hunty, like, like.
So you came out the womb.
Yes, bitch. Well, okay, after 6 and 7 years old, you know, I knew that I was, you know, I like boys. Going into elementary is where I heard of you know, my cousins who's actually friends of her family. Shout out to you, Alvaro. Holla at you. But because of his story of him coming out to his parents, you know, it kind of wanted to make me do that too. So, you know, I come out as bisexual.
Oh.
And then, and then I experimented throughout middle school with girls.
Oh.
Girls. Experimenting with girls,
oh,
bitch.
hunty.
Not boys, girls. And let's just say a little, I was gonna say, throw up gate.
Throw up?
Throw up gate. Anyway, no, but yeah, there's just, yeah, I realized in middle school, I was like, yeah, I don't like girls, I'm into boys.
Okay.
And what about you, Jadin? When did you realize that, I don't know, whatever the fuck you are, since you have no labels, so
okay, so like,
I'm trying to understand that from you.
Okay, so for me, how I see myself is I personally don't like labels because I don't really feel like the gender of someone defines.
Real quick. I'm trying to understand, like, did you always felt like that since you were young?
No.
Like, that's my understanding.
Okay, yeah.
You know what
So, no, I never felt like that. I think I was pretty much, like, straight.
Okay.
For the most part growing up. I never... Actually, yeah.
Really?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh,
She had a fucking epiphany right now, ladies and gentlemen, and theys and thems.
Okay, so...
Okay, go.
This is...
Spigot.
Okay, so...
Well, if you're comfortable.
Yeah, I remember, actually, this was when I was, like, a little bit, like, second grade. Second grade.
Do tell. Details.
I had my first encounter of, like, I guess... Okay, so do you ever have those moments, like, memories where you feel like it's not real, but then, like, they seem so fucking real?
I do, but I'm not bringing that into conversation. But yes, I do.
Okay, so this is one of those memories. Like, if you've experienced that, this is one of those memories where I don't know if it really happened, but I have such, like, a vivid fucking memory of it happening.
Yeah.
But long story short, like, I would hang out with these, like, girls when I was younger. And they were probably around, like, a year or two older than me. And I just remember, like, kissing them and, like...
Oh, so you were the opposite of me. You were, like...
Yeah, so...
Testing the waters.
Yeah, like, I felt like they would teach me how to... This is...
Oh... I don't know how to... I don't know how to...
Therapists, where are you? No, but yeah, I remember literally, like, being a little kid, second grade.
Oh, shit.
Definitely before third grade. And, like, yeah, I would hang out with these girls, and they would teach me how to kiss, and they were like, yeah, this is how you kiss, and this is how you do it. And, I mean, I liked it.
She kissed the girl and she liked
But, I mean, that's some little kid shit. I don't know, that's a little...
Dude,
I think I need to speak to a therapist.
Bro, I had no fucking teacher to teach me how to fucking kiss. You know, my first kiss was, like, fucking terrible. Like,
was it?
I thought it was just, like, peck and that's it. Like, I didn't know.
You
like,
didn't know the whole...
Oh. You know? Like, I had to practice with my fucking stuffed animals. Like, that type of corny shit, bro. Like, bleh. Oh my god, that's out there. But, well, there you go. You got the experienced kisser, and you got the one that had to fucking learn,
That's trauma, babe. Anyways, so yeah, just to answer your question, yeah, I guess now I was like a little ass kid, and I think it was a real memory, because it has to be, unless I'm delusional, but fuck.
Okay, cool. What, next question.
Okay, well, since you're a young age, you knew, or you had an idea, how did your family take that, or how did your parents take that?
Oh, damn. That's a hard question, or not a hard question, but it's a long, like, answer, because, you know, especially my mom, God bless her, I love her, like, that's my mama, and we've been through thick and thin. But we had a long journey. It took her, like, 10 plus years for her to, like, officially, like, accept me, you know, within her own definition of accepting, right? Because not only she was part of a conservative family, but she's also in a religious faith where they just think that being gay is a sin. And, you know, and the pressure there, you know, to try to put, like, a image of, you know, oh, because, you know, I'm in faith, and trying to, like, have that, like, perfect Catholic family. And not saying that's, like, what she did. It's just, this is from my perspective. I can't say it from hers. Mm-hmm. But I know my mom tried her best, because, damn, we went through therapy together. We did, like, counseling, like, within church. We did, you know, we were communicating, but it was frustrating. And you know, I will say this too, having somewhat of a language barrier, not to fluently, like, have a conversation with my mom in Spanish, or vice versa, her with me in English. We get frustrated, and we don't, we can't have that full, like, onset, like, conversation without interruptions, or saying, oh, what's that word, or, oh, la da da da, you know, or hey, we have to sometimes bring a third party in, and then that just gets into a bigger, you know, it was just so hard, you know, just not being able to talk to her in a way. And I don't want to blame myself, but in a part of me, I just wish I was more into like speaking Spanish, right? But anyways, as that happened too, my sisters, their initial thought was just, it's just a phase, it's gonna pass. That was their initial thought. Like, for how many years, I don't know. I don't have a real good memory about that, but I know eventually they started to see that, oh shit, no, my brother's gay. And I think that's, after that time, that's when they're like, okay, well, you know what? Fuck it. Like, we gotta accept it, whether we like it or not. And I think the part where, you know, when my dad passed away, that too was another factor of reality check for them. Like, shit, it shouldn't matter whether, if my brother is, you know, his sexuality or whatever, we should be close because time is so fucking short, you know? And that also hit my mom too. And going back to what you said, like, it was so hard for my mom, especially because, you know, it was just her religion, and she's so, you know, has that loyalty to her faith, and that's very respectable. But she realized that, you know, I'm not more important, but I'm as important, you know, than her faith. And to me, what validated her loving me is when she came to my wedding. And that to me was that was it. Like, that was the point where I'm just like, my mom fucking loves me. Because she didn't have to, but she did for me. Love you, mama. Mama's boy over here. But yeah, how about you? Like, when did you realize, like, you started or did you ever have a conversation with your parents about, like,
no,
like, you having these sort of feelings for, you know,
no,
you know, just you, girl, in general?
I haven't. I feel like they've always assumed I just like men. My majority of the relationships that I have brought home have been with primarily guys.
Hello, and we're back.
A little technical difficulty.
Difficulties of the technical.
But
as you were saying, Jadin, so from what we had last time, or what you said last time, from my understanding is, so your parents aren't really aware of, like, that, like, or those feelings, like,
yeah,
because you would only, like,
because I haven't I haven't brought anyone other than, like, a male over as far as, like, who I've dated. But, you know, once it gets to that point with someone, if that is, like, a woman, then yeah, obviously I'd be open. I'm not afraid of telling them or speaking out about that.
well,
I don't know.
I hope you know and aware that, you know, a lot of your family members are going to be saying this. Like, how are you okay? Like,
oh yeah, I don't care.
Like, okay, I just, you know.
I've talked to my family about, like, the subject before. I just haven't been, like, outwardly open about it like that.
Okay.
But I mean, that's mainly because, like I said, I haven't pursued an actual relationship. Or, I mean, it hasn't gotten to a serious point with a woman to where I felt the need. I don't know, Mia. I'm not that close to my parents to where it's like I tell them everything and all this, that, and the third. But yeah, that doesn't stop me to want to have a relationship with, like, a woman or anything like that. I haven't gotten to that point. So,
or you haven't found that, like,
that person yet. Yeah, I don't. It's hard for me. Like, after that long relationship I've had, it's been hard for me to, like, want to open up into a long-term relationship again, for the most part, at least.
I know what you mean. Like, no, but I do like, in all seriousness, I do, like, feel you, like, especially when you, like, invested your time and, like, your, you know, your vulnerability to that who you thought at the time was your special someone, and to just, you know, for it to just out of nowhere and just...
It wasn't... That's a story we could get into it for another day. But...
The main point is...
Yes, there was a lot of time invested, and now it's hard for me to want to invest, like, just be open with just anyone. So I really just have... I've been just really vetting people out, and now it's quicker for me to catch on to red flags for myself personally.
That's good.
So... I feel like, honestly, I just need to focus on myself right now, build up my career, figure out what I want to do in life, and then once I have that set, I can be open to allowing someone else in, because...
As you should,
Lord knows I'm a fucking wreck right now, just mentally.
Me too, and I'm with someone, and I'm blessed to be with someone, but... Girl...
That's another topic.
All right. Next question.
Okay, so, I mean, what advice do you have to give to someone who might be struggling with their sexuality or who isn't unsure of who they are?
This is for anyone, whether if you're young, we put adult content, so if you're watching adult content, make sure, you got a parental television, okay? Warning. Okay, no, but in all seriousness, like, whether if you're young, adult, or teen, whatever, to now, or however age you are, this is from a perspective of me, coming out in a very, like, young age. Everyone is... has their own journey and has their own respective, pace of, whether if you want to come out or not. But what I will say and foremost agree is that take your time. If you haven't come out, you take your time, know your surroundings, know your environment, just whenever you feel that you're comfortable enough and secure enough and it's all you, baby, like, fucking, like, it's your terms. Don't let nobody, no one, not even your family, not even your friends or society in general, to make you think like, oh, I need to come out already so that way my life can be fucking easier. No, because every household is different. Every fucking, where you live is different. Your environment, and your safety, your health, your safety is your number one priority. So if you know that your household, you can't because you'll be homeless or because you'll be assaulted or, whatever the case is, your safety's first. So that's my number one advice. 2, have that support system. And be honest, like, people that you can trust and people that care about you no matter who or what you are. Okay, being yourself is the most important thing you can do for the world. And having those people that see you for you, and you don't have to put a facade or you don't have to put a fucking, like, fake smile, or when a person that you're able to just let out and just that person. It doesn't have to be a group of people. If you have a group of people, that's even better. But just that one person that you're able to just let your vulnerabilities out and have that trust and that inner strength that they give you, or surprisingly you are able to build up that courage and to, again, just be secure with that individual. It can be whoever. Just, hopefully you have a support system. And also therapy. Like, that ties into therapy. Like, as long as you get your mental health checked too, like, fuck, like, don't let nobody say otherwise. And my third advice, I would have to say, don't be in a hurry to be in a fucking relationship, especially if you haven't come out yet. I understand that you're trying to have that experience and you want to, have an idea, but girl, like, boy, whatever, them, theys, like, you need to get your self in check, because reality is gonna fucking hit you, and you're gonna feel like it's too late. Like you feel like you found your love of your life, and then you're gonna hit a roadblock of, oh shit, like finances and just maturing and being in the adult life. Like, it fucking sucks. But you can avoid all that if you just work on yourself first, love yourself, get your priorities straight, get, fucking, like, get your own fucking place. Like, that matters first before trying to hop into, fucking love, in my opinion. It's up to you if you want to take the advice or not. I can only say it. It's your choice whether if you want to take it or not. Jadin, what about you? I know you're not, or you don't label yourself within the, community, but still, let's hear it. Like, what is your advice? Like, to, maybe there's a girl out there who, or an individual who understands what you're talking about. What do you recommend for those viewers?
I just recommend to live in your truth and don't be afraid about what other people say. But I agree with your advice where, not a lot of people might not have that privilege of, being on, like, coming out to their parents or coming out to their friends or family, whatever the case may be. But from my experience, like, I just want to live my truth. I am, ooh.
Brain fart?
Another brain fart. God, I have a lot of those.
That's okay.
But, yeah, I guess you said all the advice. I just second that. I don't have anything else to add to that personally. You had really good advice, and I think I might just be privileged enough to where I don't have that fear, so I can't really I don't have that perspective, or I can't really, like, it's hard for me to think from another perspective, I guess, because I guess I've been so blessed to have, like, a very open-minded family.
I get it.
And
cool. Lucky bitch.
Yeah, so I guess I personally never had that fear, and I can't relate. So it's like, I honestly, whatever advice that you say, I wholeheartedly agree with.
I respect that. And thank you for being honest about that, because, some people just make shit out of their asses and just like, oh yeah, but no, I really appreciate that you were like, you know what, it's not my place to say, because, well, one, I haven't gone through that, so it means a lot. So thank you for your honesty. And then one more thing too, like, just, if you're those type of, like, if you're a virgin, there's nothing wrong with being a virgin.
Keep that shit.
Chastity
belt on lock.
Yes, girl, because I get it. You want to know the experience. You want to, but trust me, like, don't please.
From a former slut?
No slut shaming or anything. But it just, there's a very ugly world out there. And the reality of the situation is, I know that you think porn is a safe place to learn about sex, but it's not. Like, it just puts a fantasy of what you think sex is, but sex is a very intimate, but very, also in a way, conservative topic. Like, it's something that the world is not ready to talk about in open, unfortunately. Yeah, we're 2023, and yeah, you think so but it's still hard to talk about, and that's okay. But I think as long as we're talking about it, and as long as we mention these, these scenarios or these hard obstacles.
I feel like it might be taboo to talk about it maybe in America a lot because
The very conservative Christian.
Well, I mean, America tends to capitalize on sex.
That is
sex
true.
Sells.
Sex
and for it to be a taboo topic, that's what helps it, make even more money. But I personally think if we were more open about it and did educate children from a young age that, like, porn is not real life. It's literally, it fucks with your brain
if you really does.
If you do watch it, especially from a young age. It's your mind is mush at that point. So when you're just absorbing all that, it can fuck with your idea of what a healthy relationship is.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with what you said, dude.
So I mean, if you're an adult, view it at your own discretion, but as a child, I don't think kids should be exposed to that, and that should be their main form of, like, education. Like, definitely parents need to talk to their children about it. It shouldn't be a foreign concept, or you shouldn't rely on the schools to teach your kid anything. That should definitely be a topic talked about.
That is true.
At home.
You know what? Yeah, that is true. I was going to say to go talk to your doctor or your therapist, but obviously they can't give you, like, a full, like, educational talk. But going back to that, though, even some parents are just so uncomfortable talking about it with their kids. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's what I feel like needs to change.
Yeah.
And I feel like our generation is kind of...
I hope we break that chain. Yeah, I hope we really honestly do break that chain. Because, like, this goes back to me when I was young, the gay, family. I didn't really have someone to talk to at all. My sisters, they were very, like, in denial, like, oh, you're just in a phase.
No, but I think also, too, like, the media back when, like, your parents were... growing up, even your sisters, it demonized being gay.
Yeah, of course.
Especially like, with the whole, like, AIDS, HIV epidemic.
And even the Christian,
like, we have a whole generation.
Gay to pray away and all that bullshit.
We have a whole generation that, like, has a stigma still over relationships.
And unfortunately, Jadin, there's still going to be that stigma, especially when people that just... for some reason have that mindset or view that gay is just being gay or being part of the LGBT community is just wrong, and unfortunately we can't change those person's mind. But what we can do is hopefully, like, stuff like this, maybe
have a conversation.
Have a conversation, maybe, like, share our experiences, and maybe it might touch someone out there, So that's the best that we can do. Now, again, we're not a fucking, like, educational podcast. We don't have statistics. We don't, like, that. Do your own research. That's totally up to you. But what we will say is we will do our best to say the raw, honest truth about ourselves and our own experience and stories. But yeah, unfortunately, Jadin, it's up to those individuals to open their minds and to be willing to have a conversation. Yeah. That's totally up to them. And again, it's like, there's so many factors into it, But, like, let me go back to what I was about to say, too, before I forget. My sisters, they were like, oh, it's just a phase. I was so scared to talk to my mom about it, because I know, one, she was uncomfortable. Two, she's not gay, so she wouldn't know, like, how to, like, it was just a very weird topic for her. My dad at the time, it was me who wasn't really comfortable talking to him about it. Just because in my head, he was very, like, machismo, like, oh, like, he wasn't toxic about it. He was actually, compared to my mom and him, he was actually more open-minded than my mom. But he just was more familiar with, like, a guy and girl sex, not with a guy and a guy. So I didn't really have anyone to talk to, and unfortunately, I was one of the poor sad innocents who went to porn for, and that's the suck reality of the situation, but yeah, and you're right. It can play a sad, twisted, you know, game in one's mind, because that's what you think how it is, but in reality it's not. It's there's so more into details. But and I don't want to say this, sex is a beautiful thing. I see it as an intimate. Like, sorry, I'm over here like all like poetic and shit, but like, or like romanticize it. But it is a beautiful.
Let me out.
In my opinion, I think having sex with that special someone is just, it's a beautiful thing, because, well, one, you're both being vulnerable with one another, and two, it's, fuck, call it chemistry or call it a spiritual thing, but making love with someone that you have that like personal connection that you truly care about, it's a difference when, you know, you just, again, in my opinion, I'm not saying that like you can't have fun once in a while with a random stranger. Fuck it. Like, I don't condone it, but fuck it. Like, do it. Like,
don't do it.
No, I didn't say don't. I said I don't condone it, but like, if you know, if you're feeling a little chilelito, like, go for it. Like, but I'm just saying, between like during my slutty days and like having sex with someone, you know, who I care about and just was able to be vulnerable with.
I would hope that's more fulfilling than just
like
hooking up with a random person and then not seeing them ever again.
Or like you see them and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just my opinion. What about you? What do you think like about that? Or do you
What do I think about what? Like
just like
what's my opinion on having sex?
No, like, as in like, well, I know you touched about the porn stuff, but what about like the positive? Like, what's your take on a positive healthy sex?
Oh,
like,
a positive healthy sex life is one that is transparent and consent for sure.
Oh yes, definitely consent.
I feel like a good way is to actually even like talk about certain things, like what you like and dislike, what your boundaries are, especially if you're gonna do like the whole hookup scene. Like, it's so like nasty, or my opinion, it feels so like nasty and dirty if you're just like meeting someone and it's just like you don't know anything about that person and you're just like, I mean, to each his own, but like personally, like you said, I would rather cultivate like a connection and get to know what that other person enjoys and doesn't like, because it's like, for me, I can get easily triggered. Like, I've been through, like, there's certain things where I just don't like at all, and it's just like, it makes me want to stop the whole thing, and like, I get pissed off, you know? So that's something I probably do need to address on the side, but like, that's where open communication comes in, and just
goes back to consent too.
Yes.
Like, it really, please, that's another big pet peeve. Like, I don't care how many times, if I already said this already, but no means no. And that's that. If you're about to slip it in and the other person says no, that's, you done it, end it, and that's that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
No matter how awkward the situation is, you have to respect that other person.
And I feel like, I don't know, I can't speak on men, but for women, I feel like a lot of us tend to be pressured, especially by men.
Yeah. Even within the gay community, those who are like submissives, or the bottoms, or, you know, those who are, you know, the twinks, or whatever, if you want to put labels, twinks, the feminines, the femmes, like, I feel like the majority of them also feel like pressured into it too, especially if you're hooking up. Like, it just, again, the culture in that itself, um, it has its negative sides, unfortunately. Like in any community or any other culture, there's the positive, there's the beautiful, and then there's the ugly, you know? So, but yeah, it goes back to what you're saying too, like how sometimes we do feel pressured, um, and unfortunately it's with men who have this dominance, machismo, like, persona that don't understand the consent part.
There's
like,
one thing, if y'all are both
not saying all of them,
yeah.
just there are few individuals, English, ew. But there are just a few of those individuals who just, I don't know if they didn't get taught, or I don't know if they just, I don't know, but just don't understand now.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's one thing if you guys are agreed to fulfill out like a certain fantasy, that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if one person is just trying to live out their own fantasy and then the other person is like in the dark about that,
Mm-hmm.
that's fucked up.
Yeah.
And if you have like some weird like, I'm not one to kink shame, whatever, but like, you know, just make sure y'all are on the same page. Talk about shit, like,
ask them, see if they're doing okay. There's nothing wrong with checking in. Yeah.
You know. Well, let me ask you, have you participated in hookup culture?
Yes, I had my slutty days.
Oh.
John knows about it. My husband. I'll let you, love you, baby.
And what was your what was your takeaway from that? How would you go about meeting people? Like, were you on Grindr? Were you on apps?
Unfortunately, yes, I was. Unfortunately, that was my... It's because, look, you have to understand, back then, there was no, like, safe haven for gay teens. Maybe there was, but...
You were a teen doing it?
Yeah.
How old?
Yeah, don't even... Like, I want to say, like, my 17, 16s.
Oh.
Yeah, the youngest.
But were you hooking up with other, like, teenagers, or were they, like...
Thankfully, dude... Well... Okay, not on the Grindr app. Those, like, throughout my, like, high school, luckily, I wasn't in the hookup apps. I was more of, like, in the dating apps. And that, like, you know, I dated them. We, you know.
Oh, okay.
And then, like, we had sex, whatever. And I didn't start the actual Grindr, like, hookup apps until after senior year.
So Grindr is, like... That's hookup.
Like straight up hookup.
Like
culture.
No one's there to...
I mean, there are a few individuals, but
it's
mind you, it's more of a, like, I want this done, and yeah, like that's literally what it is. Like, Grindr is just a place to find people or find dudes that just want to fuck, that just want to have a one-on-one thing, a one-on-one fun time, whatever, and go on with their business. And sometimes you'll be fortunate enough that there's that one person that is looking for a long-term relationship and cool, but the majority, no. It's just men that just want to get their business done, and that's it.
Oh, shit.
So, if you're thinking Grindr, and then it goes the same with Tinder, you know, like, I mean, yeah. That's like the general, like, hookup app.
You're right.
In my opinion. I'm not saying that there's no cute love stories. I'm pretty sure there's love stories out there that they've met through social media or through Grindr. But the reality of the situation is I'm pretty sure it's very rare. So, I didn't meet my husband at a hookup or a dating app. It was so unexpected. I'm like hogging the fucking... Okay. I'm over here hogging. But no, but let me just say this real quick. Like, the beautiful thing about my husband and I is so unexpected. And shout out to Chip, Aiden. Thank you so much. Without you, there was no way in hell I would have met my husband. And my mom, believe it or not, you too, mama. So, again, back to being the mama's boy. Like, if it wasn't for mama, I would not have met John. But yeah, like, just those type of experience to me was just like, fuck, like, that's so cute. Like, it was not planned. The not planned is like, to me, the most beautiful experience, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? But yeah, sorry. Go. Like, what about you?
What about me? What were we talking about?
Like, hookup culture. Like, I'm pretty sure, do you have any experience, like, hookups, like, through apps and shit?
I was on all the nasty apps.
Oh, dirty girl.
Like, some nasty, like, what the fuck kind of app
like,
is
kind of
that?
like Grindr?
Like, worse than that.
Oh. Worse than Grindr. Okay, y'all, if y'all have, like, an idea, comment that shit down below. Let me know. Worse than Grindr?
Well, like,
I don't know.
Dude, I would be on, like, I had my little whore phase too.
Oh, that I know.
Oh my god.
I'm kidding. No,
but now it's just like, I don't know why I was into it so much. But yeah, I was on like threesome apps, dude.
I've never been in a threesome.
Oh, honey. Yeah, that's what I was into for like a fat minute.
Damn.
So
No,
they call.
No judgment.
So yeah.
In a way, I kind of. Yeah, it's gonna sound slutty, but
Excuse my cough.
No,
I'm
good.
sick, so.
But what's the term? Not jealous, but is it envy? No.
Territorial?
No. What? No. What I'm trying to say is, like, I respect that you at least experimented. If that makes sense.
Well,
Sorry,
I mean,
not in a negative way. It's just I was super, like, romantic, like, one-on-one, like, then that's all I needed. But I feel like a part of me should have maybe at least tried it.
No, if you don't want to, then don't do it. That's my whole thing.
Well, no, the thing is like, I'm curious about it. You know what I mean?
Well, if you're not fully about it, don't do it. Don't do it unless you're fully about it.
Okay, let me rephrase. If I were single, I'd be down. Okay. But if I'm in a relationship, I'm not down.
Okay, fair.
Does that make sense? Like,
fair.
Like, you who were single, you were able to, like, experiment.
No, I mean, I was doing it while in a relationship as well.
Oh.
So I guess that's
okay. Well, no.
It stemmed from.
Okay. Well, shit. Good on. Yeah, I think. I don't know.
I wanted to, okay, so.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to explore with, like, other women.
Okay.
While I was in that long-term relationship.
Okay, gotcha.
And so we talked about it and we agreed about it. And yeah, it happened. Wow. And then even after we broke up, I was still, like, experimenting with that side of...
Okay.
With that culture. I don't know how you want to say it or word it.
Your sexual fluidity.
Well, yeah, so I liked it because I got the best of both worlds. You know, I was with a man and a woman, and it was like, I was into it. And thankfully, the people that I met were actually real people and not,
like, communicated with you, and, like, you were able to,
like, because these apps were, let me tell you, they're sketchy as fuck, dude. Really? Like, some people would not show their face, like.
Oh yeah, that's fucking Grindr too.
Well, yeah, but, like, that's scary, and especially as a woman, like, and then you're meeting up with these.
No, yeah.
You're meeting up with them, and then you're like, so you're like, fuck my life if I die, right? And then, luckily, I mean, but that's the reality of it. Like, you don't know who these people
you're risking
are,
your life,
like, unless you actually FaceTime. But I would never do that. I would just be like, let me come over. And yeah, I mean, luckily, everyone that I've encountered, it's been, like, a really positive experience for the most part. I did get my feelings hurt a little one time because there was this one situation where I was with a couple, and I didn't realize that she had a really, like, big, like, TikTok account and, like, Instagram account. And, like, Yeah, she had like a really big following, and I didn't realize that.
Okay.
And then she would post on her Instagram about like different stuff, even like about mentorship and like business aspect. And I hit her up one time. I was like, "Yeah, like I'm interested. Like I'd love to connect with you over like the business shit."
Part, yeah.
And she was like, "Yeah, I don't think it's I don't know if we should mix business and pleasure, blah, blah, blah." Like, hurt my feelings a little bit. And then it sucked because then, like, she was literally, like, there was a time where I would hear her on the fucking radio because she was, like, a part of, like, foster care. And she would literally had, like, did a 180 on her life. Like, she came from like the foster care system and now to like a 6-figure business type shit. Okay. I'm proud of her, but that hurt my feelings, low key. But yeah, that happened.
Wow. Well, for me, from an experience that I haven't done that. Like, not even like a 3-way kiss type. Like, I've never done that before. Like, I don't know. I've always just been very like a monogamous type of person. Like, I've always felt that like I don't need more than 2 individuals to complete me. I just needed that one soulmate, and that's all that mattered to me. And through like the sexual stuff, like I felt like, or I feel that like I want us to explore one another. You know, there's so many ways to, how do I put this? I mean, we're getting but like, but like to explore each other, like to get to know one another at 100%, not 99.9%, not 97%, not 95, a full 100% before my mind goes to like, all right, I'm down for a 3-way. You know what I mean? Like, that's my mindset. That's you. I'm not,
I guess I'm just a fucking
No, that's not what I'm
whore.
saying. No. If I were single, I'd be down, like, to do that shit. But, you know, I guess it just changes when I'm, like, in a relationship. Like, just...
No, everyone's different.
I don't know. I'm just...
That's you, boo.
That's me. That's me. That. Yeah, I'm not... Again, like, I'm kind of... I guess I'm jealous, because I never had that... No. It's because, like... How do I...
Curious?
Yes, because I've never had that experience. And I know people that, you know... not just you, but I know of other people that have that experience. I'm just like, damn, like, that kind of sounds like fun. Like, in a sexual fantasy way. But, like, I'm only, like, I'm curious enough to just do it one time. Does that make sense? Like, I just want to do it once and be like, okay,
that's
like, I like it or I didn't like.
Crack say. I'm just kidding.
I've never done crack.
I'm just kidding. It's supposed to be a joke.
Oh. I mean, it does a little MJ. We just did that today.
I just want to do it once and then, like, they fucking are addicted to it.
Oh my god, you think I'd be addicted to 3-ways?
I don't know. I liked it. But I'm a slut, so. Just kidding, Mom. I'm a good girl.
Oh, girl. Anyhow, but yeah, that's just me. Ain't nothing wrong. We ain't trying to slut shame or anything. I love you still. I don't judge you. But yeah. What else? Do you have any other questions or?
Do I have any other questions?
About like the topic, like.
I think I do. Somewhere up there.
Up in that noggin of yours.
Do you have any questions?
Ooh, girl. Ooh. On top. What I meant to say is, what is your preference, between like, if you ever like find like a certain girl like you'd be dating, versus a guy? Like, does that make sense? Like, what would be like your
ideal woman and ideal man or something?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, as far as my taste in women goes, I love feminine women. And I think that's what's hard for me in the dating game because, like, either the girls that I find attractive are, like, straight and they're down to just, like, hook up, but they're not down to, like, actually, like, date. Or, I don't know, like, my experience with trying to date a woman, I just didn't like the aspect that I was found as masculine. Like, I feel like in relationship, there's always a dynamic, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I personally don't see myself as, like, a masculine type of person. I like to be in my feminine energy, and I like to be portrayed as feminine. So when, like, I did talk to a girl, like, and I thought I was gonna date her, and she was just kind of crazy. I don't know. Like, maybe that's just my opinion, but I just didn't like the fact that she said I was, like, the masculine one in the relationship one time, and that pissed me off because I'm like, first off, I don't see you as masculine because, like I said, I like feminine women, so I don't see you as masculine, and I don't like how you're making it seem like I'm the masculine one. Like, we're on, like, even playing grounds here, I feel. So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but I don't want to let that experience stop me from, like, pursuing a relationship like that. But I also am just, like, not in the dating game right now. Personally, I stopped. I'm out. But as far as, like, men goes, I feel like it sucks because I attract feminine guys.
Really?
Like, yeah, so maybe that's why I got that BDE. So I attract freaking feminine guy.
I mean,
because okay, the relationship that I was in long term, I'm just gonna say, like, when I think of feminine and masculine, like, feminine as in, like, they wanted to be taken care of. They wanted to go, like, they wanted to be, like, the fucking princess of the relationship, and I felt like I was always the one that was, like, providing, like, trips and, like, shopping sprees and, like, oh hell yeah, honey, the amount of like, I like to go out and travel, and I like to fucking do fancy shit, go out to dinners, go out to, like, nice resorts and shit. I was the one that would be, like, paying and spending up.
Really?
Like, hell yes.
Like, even with the guys? Like,
yes. And even
do I know a few of them that were like that?
Oh yeah.
No.
Honey, it was always okay, so it was, like, always a 50-50 relationship. 50-50.
Okay.
I don't like 50-50 anymore. I don't believe in that shit. Especially when it comes to a man, I don't believe in that shit because
I'm gonna piggyback on that, and I actually saw this video that my husband actually shared. But in a relationship, there's never gonna be 50-50. Sometimes it's gonna be 70-30, sometimes it's gonna be 60-40, sometimes it's gonna be 100-0. Sorry, but
you're right. In regards to that, but as far as me, like, for you personally, when it comes to the financial aspect of it, I low-key am still, like, if I'm with a man, I want my man to be a provider. I'm tired of feeling like the one that I have to provide fucking, if I, like, for example, if I in a relationship, if I wanted to have a nice dinner, then I would have to be the one that would have to provide that experience for the both of us instead of the man taking initiative and creating that experience for me. So my expectations for a man are far different than my expectations are for a woman when it comes to the dating life, at least. But then again, like I said, I've never actually had an official relationship as far with a woman. It's gotten really close, but like I said, I just the red flags were there, and I just decided not to, or things didn't work out to where it panned out like that. I gotcha.
Wow. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I'm tired of being a strong, independent woman. Like, if I want to be a strong, independent woman, I'll be single as fuck, because I could do everything on my own. But if someone wants to take care of me,
Okay. Y'all, if your man, get your shit straight, she likes to be provided for your woman, that's something different.
If you're a woman, I will kiss your fucking feet and worship you because you're so beautiful. But that's a different story.
Shit.
But men, you're gross and you're disgusting and hairy and ugly. And you gotta
straight
work.
Men, though, right?
Yeah, straight men. You gotta work a little harder to get my attention. Because women, they're just like automatically like,
they have a waiver.
I'll worship the ground that you touch.
Oh.
And just.
You know what? For me, I'm the same way. I like being provided than me being provided because I felt like I was the one doing that with my previous. I would be the one to like take them out, and I would be the one to, initiate shit. There were times though, or honey, I love you. I really, really do. Thank you. He is literally the only man that has ever provided. Does that make sense? Like when it came to like finances and, stuff like that. And I fucking love that about him. So that's one of the reasons why. Because I exactly what you just said with the man part. Or, yeah, that's how I felt when every time I dated a dude. Like, it was me, like, the one, or how I feel. Again, if you're my ex out there and you're watching this, God forbid. But if you do, if you feel different, let me know. Put it down in the comments. Like, call my ass out. Like, because I have a different, memory in that. But, I'm not trying to put my relationships up, but I am trying my best to have my husband feel like provided to, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm trying to do, because I know that sometimes, like you said, that power dynamics just can, it can go on and off, and and I know there's times like my husband feels that way too, and so I try my best. I at least try my best to do it with little things, like hold the door for him, or cook him a dinner or breakfast, or I think I do my best, being a gentleman, try to just do the little things, right? But yeah, I hope I am getting to the part where I understand that he wants to be provided. Occasional, not all the times, but occasionally. So yeah. And thank you for letting me know, because I see that perspective. And I don't know if you know, but John says that he sees you in a way, he has similar, just similarities from your characteristics. So.
Okay.
Ugh, really want you guys to hang out. Anyhow, but yeah, is there anything else we want to talk about within the LGBTQ stuff? Because, girl,
we could go on for days,
Ooh,
but I think
love
it's
to.
time to wrap it up and save some content for next week's episode, which is our Valentine's Day. I'm super excited for that. We're gonna break down some relationship,
some tea,
some dating,
advice,
some life, just love in general. We're all about love here.
Asian heart.
Like this. For the Spotify listeners, we're putting up the
Eastern way of heart.
The Eastern heart is that the Eastern heart? Oh my God!
Please don't kill me. No, no. What I mean to say is because Asian in Asia, Korean, Japanese, they do the cute little heart, so cute. They do an actual it looks like an actual heart within your body. Instead of us Westerners, we do this, or what's the other one, this? I don't know what the fuck. Yeah, that the Asian,
the Eastern way.
The Eastern way. Yes, my Asian beautiful people. I love you, especially Korean, Japanese men. Anyways, but yeah. Want to know if you're watching, girl.
Oh, is that Wonho who you showed me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Boo.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
I love you, baby, but sorry. Wonho sees me, girl. Holla at me.
But yes, you guys, we appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen or watch us.
On
and
YouTube.
Please be sure to give us a subscribe down below.
And like button, please.
Yes, it would help us so much if you give us a like and comment and interact with us. And again, follow us on Instagram. We'll put our shit in the fucking bio down below or the description below. I don't know, but...
Oh, and then if you're in Spotify, also download our episodes. That would help us so much too. Please, please, please. And any sponsors out there, holla.
We're still looking for sponsorships.
We're still looking for sponsors.
And again, I apologize for how I look. I am sick, sad, and crusty and dusty, but...
Watch, this bitch is gonna be getting all these messages like, what are you doing, hunty? Shit, I'm a man, I'll provide for you. Well, or I'm a girl, love me.
I hope.
Not me, guys. I'm taking.
I hope y'all hit me up. Anyways, it's time for us to go. And until next time.
Again, don't forget to follow, subscribe, please. Oh, and also we're in Apple Podcasts. We're in Amazon Music. We are in iHeartRadio. So, and if, again, just share our content. Please, please, please. That would just help us so much. Okay. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram too.
For
TikTok,
the millionth time. Just follow below. Read it below.
Yes,
we'll figure it out down here. Yes.
Love yous. Thank yous. And